Good afternoon, and oh yeah, the rain has stopped. Isn't that great? It has been raining forever, but today we just have interesting clouds in the sky. Might have a odd little speck of rain, but I don't think anything to speak of. And it is what is it, mid-April, and that means bluebells. Bluebells are a bit early, I think, this year, and so I'm off to a place where I expect there to be some bluebells, so that's what I'm going to do. And then after that I am planning to go back up to Stonehenge, because I don't really feel that I have nailed the sunset experience at Stonehenge yet, so I'm going to have another go. Can you have too many sunsets at Stonehenge? I'm not sure that you can. So I'm going to have another go, and hopefully we might get some good shots. A bit of colour in the sky would be nice. Cloud is supposed to be clearing around about sunset. I'm just hoping it doesn't clear too soon and leave us with just a plain blue sky. Don't want that. So hopefully we'll get some interesting light. Let's see what happens. What else might I talk about in our little video this week? I don't know yet. I'll come up with a theme, and in a moment I'll let you know what I've decided. I have arrived at my destination for bluebell photography, and while I just sort of get my gear packed correctly and my boots on, I'll tell you what it is that I think I have in mind today. So, over the last, excuse that zip noise, over the last, let's think about it, couple of weeks I suppose, I have been busy in my office, study, whatever we want to call it, and putting together something a bit exciting really. Now if you are into landscape photography, and you're watching this, so you must be, if you're into landscape photography and you've been watching the videos from the likes of Nigel Danson and Thomas Heaton and Henry Turner and all these people, then you'll know that about every other video they appear to be promoting Squarespace, and for putting a website together. And although I have had a website, it's one that I put together really more as a blog using WordPress. And WordPress I don't find to be the most friendly environment, particularly if you want to do more complicated stuff with it. And I've got to a point where I do want to do more with my website, and so I have finally, long story short, relented. I have relented, and I have decided that I will give Squarespace a go. And so I've put this website together at great expense, and you can have a look at it if you like, and I'd love to know what you guys think about it. So if you want to find it, I'll put the address on the screen, but it's www.nigelbaileyphotography.co.uk. Don't ask me how I thought that one up, but it just came to me in a flash of inspiration. So nigelbaileyphotography.co.uk. Check it out and let me know what you think. A little bit more about that later. In the meantime, I'm going to get out there and photograph some bluebells. The car park that I'm in is surprisingly full. In fact, people are parking on the road as well, and it's like some kind of old people's convention. But I suppose really I'm pretty much one of those old people now, but there is a very definite demographic of people walking by my van at the moment. Not quite sure what's going on. Maybe they all like bluebells as well. Catch up with you in a minute. Well, I've got to say that is really disappointing. For all the best reasons, I guess, that the bluebell woods have been fenced off in order to give said bluebells and the ancient woodland here a chance to recover. And what that means from my point of view is, well, really just nothing to photograph. I mean, I can photograph a carpet of bluebells from a fixed path over a fence, but I've got to say it's not what I had in mind. So that is a real shame. That is a real shame. I've come all this way, nearly an hour's drive, to try and photograph here, and it's not going to happen. It's also very busy in there, very busy. A lot of people. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the van and take a look at my map of Dorset and landscape things to photograph in and around here, or even drive on up early to Stonehenge, and because there is lots of stuff to photograph around there. And although I've been there a number of times and I photographed Stonehenge itself, what I haven't done really is photograph much else around there, other than as part of a family walk, and well, it's not the same, is it? So on what is turning out to be a beautiful day, is a bit of a disappointment, and I don't think I'll be adding very much to my website today. More on that in a minute. Okay, well, I have found a nearby woodland, and it's a little off the beaten track, and I'm just going to explore it. It does have bluebells, and they're obviously growing wild, so let me just show you what's the other side of this lens from me. Okay, so in fact there's a bit more form to this woodland than there was the other one, which is quite nice. And so I'm just going to wander around here for a little while and see if I can't find anything worth photographing, even if it's not, you know, a wide landscape with a nice path running, you know, the classic cliche bluebell wood type shot. I'm sure that there's going to be some rather nice intimate bluebell shots that I can take here. Okay, so I found a little scene here that I quite like. So we've got this, see if I can show you. We've got this log here, which is kind of leading down towards this small pond, and then we've got this grouping of bluebells, which is just the other side of the log, and I quite like the way that the log is framing this group of bluebells. Now, there's quite a lot of reflection off this pond, and I want to cut that down. So I think what I'm going to do, and I want quite a lot of depth of field in this shot. I'll try it with and without a high level of depth of field. So I'm going to get my tripod out, and I'm going to try some focus shift shooting with quite a wide aperture. And what that will let me do after the event is, depending on how I blend and stack the shots together, I can control exactly how much of the image is going to be in focus. So I think I'm going to work on this one and see how we go. Okay, do you know, I'm actually quite happy that I've ended up in this place, because the landscape is so much more random and informal than it would have been in the other wood, and it just goes to show, doesn't it? You need to make the most of the opportunities that you get. I love this little pond here, and there's a number of other features as well. I'm just going to show you. I'll switch the lens around, the view around, if I can. Any moment now. There we go. Right. So I've actually shifted my view here because I quite like this shot. I'll show you on the back of the camera actually if I can. And so what we've got is this branch coming in from the left-hand edge here, and another little one in there, and then this one coming in, and it all just sort of draws you into the frame. And either side of that we've got these beautiful bluebells as well, and they're really rich colours with the polarizer on too. And so I rather like this. Now, this is with my 15mm Laowa lens, and the Laowa lens does not do focus shift automatically on this camera because it's a fully manual lens, and so that means that I've had to do all of that manually, which is a much slower process, and the sun is in and out all over the place at the moment, and so we've got changing lighting conditions and everything, so it is making it a little bit awkward, but I love this composition. I don't know what it is about it. It's all pretty random and chaotic, but I think I've found a way to make it seem less chaotic by bringing in these quite significant lead-in lines, and also with the direction of the pond, it all just draws you in. I think draws you into that picture there. So I rather like this. I might wait for a brighter patch of light. The other thing, compositionally, I've made sure that in terms of where I have put the camera, that these two broken dead branches are not crisscrossing with each other, but that we keep that space, some space clear between them, and it just helps tidy up the composition a bit. So I'll stick around. I don't think I'm going to go for many more compositions here. I've tried a couple, and once I've got what I want here, I think I'll move on and see if there's anything else to be had in this lovely little bluebell wood. But if this shot is any good, then here it is. Okay, welcome back. I'm at Stonehenge now. I realised quite quickly after my last little piece to camera that I was in danger of running late, and time had slipped past faster than I thought it had while I was busy photographing bluebells, and I think I got one or two shots I'm going to be happy with, hopefully. Now, I'm not sure though about Stonehenge. I've been on the promise of broken cloud, and there certainly is, broken cloud about. Unfortunately, it's now building up on the western horizon that way behind me, and that's absolutely where I don't want it. And it's sort of clearing right above us, so which is the worst possible combination, because I want cloud above us but not on the horizon, so that the sun can uplight the cloud that is up above us. So it could all just go pants, basically, but you've got to be in it to win it, haven't you? I know it's a real cliche, but it's true. So I'm here, I'm going to stay on. Sunset is in just under 50 minutes, about 45 minutes or so. So I've got my gear together, I'm going to get my togs on, make sure I've got some warm clothing on, because it is cooling down rapidly. And let's just hope that there's a lovely little break in the cloud at just the right moment. Yeah, okay. I will report back later. I don't think what I'm going to do is I don't think I'll do any video on site for this, because I've done so at Stonehenge before, and to be honest, there's really only a small little area that you can shoot from. Compositionally, it's a bit of a given, really. There's not a lot you can do and vary. So it's really up to what happens with the light, with the sky in this case. I might try some different focal lengths. I'm going to use a different lens. I'll have the Z7 Mark II with my 24 to 17mm f4. And that's a really, really nice combination, actually, that I haven't used here before. So hopefully, at the very least, I'll get some really sharp shots. Okay, catch you up in a minute. Thinking about it, I did say that I would say a little bit more about my website. To be honest, there's not a lot more to say. I've got one, and I have given you the address of it, and I'll just put it along the bottom here now, and also make sure that it is in the description below. But I do want to gradually expand the website. It's not everything that I expect it to be right now, but I'm pleased with it so far. I am quite pleased with Squarespace. I don't think it's quite as simple as people make out that it is, you know, that it's all templated and drag and drop and stuff. You do kind of need to know what you're doing, and although you might not necessarily need to use code in order to get your website going, I think there are some areas of it where code would be helpful. So for example, for each print that I sell, I can sell them at different sizes, maybe 4 different sizes, and there's another option that you can choose whether or not to have it signed, for example. And that means there's potentially 8 different options on every print. And if I have, let's say I have 40 images on there that might be able to be printed. It's about 20 something at the moment, but let's say I go up to 40, and there's 8 times 40, which is 320 prices that will have to be updated at some point whenever the price changes, whenever I need to change the price, and or just something to do with the terms and conditions, or the paper, for example, that I use. Now that potentially is leaving myself quite a headache for future site maintenance, and I haven't yet figured out a way through the standard website system to be able to make a global change to my pricing system. It seems to be per product, as they call it, in my case per print. So but overall I like the designs. I like that. I do like the way that it's come together once you get around their particular use of language and that kind of stuff, and the way that they refer to things. It is relatively easy to navigate, but it would be great if you could take a look at it. Let me know what you think as well in the comments, or using the contact form on the site. And if you're feeling a little bit flush at some point and you want to support my channel, then buying a print on there would be a really good way to do that. Okay, so if I get any good shots here tonight, then I will post them either now or toward the end of the video. And in the meantime, I want to just say thank you for continuing to support. I have finally scraped my way to 2,000 subscribers, which is excellent. I'm really pleased about that. Let's hope that that continues to increase in the months to come. So thanks again, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye. It's just gone grey, so no action in the sky tonight, unfortunately, so not going to be a lot to write home about, but it did give me the opportunity to use the Z7ii with this